All right, we have one of the big winners from this past Saturday night's event in Las Vegas after nearly a year out of action. Randy Costa returns to the octagon in a huge way, knocks out Journey Newson in just 41 seconds, got himself his first UFC performance bonus to boot. Happy to be joined by the Zohan right now. Randy, how are you, man?
Man, I couldn't be better. Life is pretty good right now, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's been a minute since we've had the chance to chat in this kind of a forum, but man, oh man, it was worth the wait to get back in the octagon. What a phenomenal performance. How does it all feel a few days later, man?
Man, it's been too long, man. I haven't fought, since October. I've been dying to get back in there. I went through an entire fight camp, 2 fight camps in the last year. And it was just nice to see everything pay off tenfold, man. It couldn't have went better.
That knockout was it was like a splitting image of the one you had a couple of years ago. Like, those who follow the New England regional scene remember your knockout of Kenny Lewis fondly back in August 2018 for Cage Titans. I mean, you've had some changes in your life that we'll get into momentarily, but that was as deja vu as a finish as I can remember, was it not?
It was the only thing that was different is the switch in stances. When I knocked out Kenny, I was right-handed, right-hand high kick. When I knocked out Journey, I was left-hand high kick. What's funny is I was talking to one of the Cage Titans commentators and a good friend of mine, Richie Santiago, the night before the fight, and I was like, man, I'm telling you, I said, he commented on my weigh-in pitch. I was like, it's foreshadowing of Kenny Lewis. I was like, I'm gonna win that same way. And I did the exact same thing. I saw it. That wasn't like a super complex combination. It's just I'm so tricky and creative. The entire 40 seconds leading up to that point, I was setting that up. Like, that wasn't an accident. It was fucking awesome.
So do you just kind of wait for a certain movement from him to know that it's there? So you were throwing and you were being patient at the same time, but were you just waiting for him to move a certain way before you did that?
Yeah. So I'll walk you through it. So throughout that whole initially leading to, I think I'm a pretty unique style striker. I'm extremely analytical when I'm in there. I'm reading exactly what's going on. I came out right-handed. I was throwing a million feints and kept moving my head in different ways and my shoulders in different ways. I was getting a read on my opponent. I saw everything. I kept feinting with that jab. So when I was feinting with that jab, I noticed that he kept biting hard with that right hand. So I just kept throwing and showing that jab. When he took that hard step to my right-hand side and I kind of chased him, I made that subtle stance switch. He didn't notice that I switched my hand. So when I throw my left hand out again, he's reaching for it as if it's a jab. And I was able to slip my head out that side and then wrap my shin around that left hand. I was setting that up. I wasn't chasing that, but that's what presented itself to me. I was analyzing exactly what his movements were. I was getting a read on him. And as soon as I saw that opening, capitalized right away. I'm not surprised that I landed that shot. That's a pretty common shot that I land. And man, you could expect more fun style finishes from me. I'm super analytical. I can see these things in my opponent and what they're doing and what their reactions were, and I can create these unique weird angles. And I'm excited to see what's next, man. I'm super pumped.
You made me look kind of foolish, Randy, if we're being honest, because we did our event preview show on Friday, and we always talk about like the big fights, and then we all pick like an under the radar fight. And I said you and Journey was going to be my under the radar fight. I thought you guys were going to have a fight of the night, kind of a battle, just because of the stylistic matchup. I thought you guys would stand in the pocket and throw hammers at each other. I said it would be a finish at some point, but I predicted it would go a lot longer than 41 seconds. When it was over, were you just like, of course I'm happy with how this played out, but I thought I'd get to show a little bit more here. I have all this adrenaline left inside of me.
Man, I'm like not really surprised I'm surprised that I finished him that quick. I'm not surprised that I landed a big shot that quick. I know he's super fucking tough, super durable. I thought I was gonna have to hit him with a lot to get him out of it, to get him out of there. But man, it's the shots that you don't see are the ones that put you out. He came up to me after the fight and he was like, I didn't see that kick coming. So it's not that I was winding this up and it was just a fluky shot. I wrapped that around so he couldn't see it and it just threw him completely off guard, and I capitalized on that moment. I knew I was going to land something big. It was only a matter of time. I'm just happy, it really couldn't have been better, that situation.
What was the candy of choice to celebrate? Because in Boston, it was either Reese's Pieces, maybe the mini cups, but what did you go with on Saturday?
I ate so many fucking peanut butter cups, bro. I felt like shit. It was awesome, man. But I ate, I ate Saturday night, obviously after the fight. I ate Sunday, and I ate a little bit yesterday. I'm done eating like a shitbag. I'm staying light. I'm still pretty light. I can make weight again in a week. This was the best camp I've ever had ever. I literally didn't cut any water weight. I dieted all the way down to 135 pounds. Like, that's not the only thing that I did that I had to do to make weight. Was I didn't like chug a bunch of water on Thursday night. I had breakfast before weigh-ins. I felt fucking incredible in there. Every single thing about this fight, this camp, the preparation, my mindset, every single thing about it went exactly according to plan. It could not have went better.
I was going to ask you about the weight, because I remember after the Boston fight, you said you were going to go to Mexico and you're going to come back as a middleweight. So I just want to make sure.
Dude, so now that I made weight and I showed performance, all that, I can really kind of get into, how much I actually weighed. So I had a fight canceled back in March. I had an 8-week fight camp, and the fight got canceled about 10 days prior. I dieted from about 165 to 147 when the fight got canceled. And then I went to a lockdown. Bro, during that quarantine, I got up to 183 pounds. Mike, 180. I'm a 135 pounder. I got to 183 fucking pounds. When I stepped on that scale and I saw 183, I almost cried. I almost just called it quits. I fucking lost it. And then I just went super disciplined. I did the entire thing on my own, the entire diet on my own, everything. I dieted from 183, which I was in about May. I was 168 when I signed the contract for this fight. And then I did about 7 weeks of hard dieting from 168 to, I walked into fight week at 142. And then I cut like those last couple pounds throughout the week. So I did that entire thing on my own. Every single thing went exactly according to plan.
Was that the most you've ever weighed?
I've never been that fat ever. It was fucking disgusting. I was like, man, I'm going to bed, dude. I'm sleeping. So normally I set the thermostat for like 68, 69 when I'm going to bed. And dude, I'm waking up in the middle of the night in fucking sweat. I'm like, is it like 100 in here? And I had to set the thermostat to like fucking 61 degrees because I was just sweating. I was just so fucking fat, gassed out, walking up the stairs. It was fucking awesome, Mike. But it was disgusting. But yeah, man, I cut all that out. I dieted all the way down. It was just nice to see all the hard work pay off tenfold, and it was completely worth it. I'm not going to bubble up that heavy again. Absolutely not. I'll probably bubble up to like probably 158-ish, something like that. I'm about 151 right now. 3 days post-fight. So I'll probably hover around here for a little while. And then just start, so that'll make it that much easier when it's time to fight again. But yeah, I was a fat piece of shit for sure.
That's interesting, because I do want to go back a little ways when this whole pandemic thing was starting to really make its mark around the world, because you were, the Columbus card, you're supposed to fight Martin Day. Obviously, that was canceled, and then the UFC was starting to put these fights together and rebooking a lot of these matchups. And I had asked you specifically if you were interested in fighting during this crazy time. If the UFC had come to you to rebook that fight, would you take it? And you were just like, hell no. Like, unless things changed in a big way, you had no interest in fighting. And it seemed like weeks later, you were off to Florida getting that golden brown tan. When did things change for you in that aspect? Like, did you just need to see how things would play out? Was it stepping on the scale and seeing that you were 183 pounds? Like, what was the change there?
It didn't have anything to do with the scale or what I was doing, when the fight got canceled or anything like that. So with this coronavirus thing, we have a lot more knowledge today than we did in March, April, May, right? So when the UFC started running shows again, I wasn't worried for myself getting sick. I was worried about how contagious this thing actually was, getting other people sick, this, that, the other thing. My answer today obviously is a lot like even if I didn't fight this last weekend, if you asked me would I want to fight during this time, my answer now is yes. My answer then was no. We didn't have as much knowledge then. We didn't know the severity or the lack thereof of this virus then. And I mean, now we're seeing the UFC, they've kind of set a precedent throughout the whole sporting world. They are taking care of the coronavirus, and they are going above and beyond with the testing and ensuring that everybody is safe. It'd be silly for me to use coronavirus as an excuse not to fight at this point. After seeing how well the UFC is taking care of it, but in the beginning, when there's so many uncertainties, and it almost seemed like the UFC was like trying to like find gray areas and rules so they could run fights, but that wasn't the case at all. But we know that now. We didn't know that then. Yeah, the UFC is fucking killing it, man. I was blown away by how well they treated us. They took care of they made safety a priority throughout the whole fight week. They did a fantastic job, and I feel 100% comfortable with fighting a million times during the pandemic now. Just because of the knowledge that we have now and how well we see the UFC taking care of it.
You chose to go to Florida, chose to train at ATT, and it seems to have been working out quite well for you. But why ATT out of all the potential gyms and landing spots you could have gone to? Yeah.
Well, one, Florida is like, it's a circus. No one really there really aren't any rules. So the gyms opened here before really any other gyms. So the quality and the quantity of training in Florida is much more than you're going to find, especially in an extremely liberal state like Massachusetts, who are facing, tons of restrictions. I guess I chose ATT because I'm really friendly with Charles Rosa. And he kind of bridged the gap between myself and ATT. He's always singing up and down about the gym. And obviously I see all these high level guys there. So he bridged the gap. I gave it a try, and it ended up working out. Everyone was super cool to me. People went out of their way to help me out. I got, great work specifically for this camp with Marlon Moraes and Tony Gravely. They helped massively. If you look at like the build of Journey, you see Tony is the exact same build. He's a shorter guy, dense guy, really strong guy. So I got fantastic work. I'm telling you, man, everything with this camp went fantastic, from the diet to the mindset to the training camp to the being near the beach during a fight camp. That definitely didn't suck either. Life is good, man. I'm in a good spot.
Was it weird for you for a little while? Because, I mean, you've been with Joe Lozon for a long time. He's a mentor. He's your biggest advocate. And to travel all that way to ATT without him and work with new teammates and coaches, did it take some time to get used to?
Yes and no. I think I'm one of those guys where, like, I don't need someone kind of, hovering over me to make sure I'm getting shit done. I'm pretty self-motivated. I get things done. I'm very disciplined. Joe knows that. So we talked every single day through a camp. I was sending him all my sparring videos, all that stuff. It wasn't really that weird. I mean, you know how I am. Like I can talk to my shadow. It's very easy for me to go and kind of navigate and kind of get comfortable with people. I'd like to think I'm a pretty likable person, and I'm very outgoing. I made friends with a lot of people right away, and they all made me feel super welcome. I had a good connection with Charles Rosa initially right from the beginning, right when I walked in the gym. So he kind of introduced me to a lot of people. It really wasn't that weird. I guess the only thing that was weird about it is, the times I was doing sparring and I didn't have, my coach, Joe Lozon and Greg, watching my sparring directly. But we stayed in contact. We made it work, and it paid off. I think I had a pretty good formula throughout the whole camp, pretty good schedule. Throughout the whole camp, and we made everything work, and it really couldn't have gone better.
So are you a full-time Floridian now? Like, is this going to be a normal thing? Are you taking residence in Florida now?
Dude, it's going to be really hard to not be so close to the beach. I fucking love the beach, man. I love the beach. I mean, you can tell. I go in there like I was fucking bronze in a cage, dude. It looked like I was fucking going to a Vogue shoot or something. I fucking did. My shorts were way too up high. I thought my tan lines looked ridiculous, but we're going to work on that. We're going to get that the next time. But man, I don't know. So Florida is obviously wide open. Massachusetts is not wide open. My plan is to get another fight, pretty soon. The training circumstance in Massachusetts are not the same training circumstance are here in Florida. So if I were to guess, I'm going to do, unless the world opens up literally right now, I'm probably going to not really have much of a choice but to do my next camp again up here. Ideally, I would like to go back to Massachusetts 2-3 weeks before the fight so I can get into, direct work with the guys who are going to corner me. But if not, it's not a massive deal. Obviously, we showed that it worked this time. We have a good formula. We have it down, pretty good. We have, Joe, Greg, and I have great communications all within each other. We're all on the same page with everything. Everything's just working, man. And I fucking love the beach, dude. I love the beach.
So do you have like your own place down there now?
Yeah. So me and my girlfriend have we lease this place over here, man. It's fucking awesome. We're like a mile and a half, a mile from the beach. It's fucking great, dude. It's great. Just ride my bike to the beach. I get to do all my road work on the beach. It's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, stay there, man. I woke up this morning. My kid is back. He's actually in school every single day where we're at in Massachusetts, which is crazy.
Where are you, in like Western Mass or something?
Yeah, we're in the Berkshires.
Okay, yeah.
But I woke up this morning. I'm getting ready to take him to school. It's frost.
Yeah.
Like the windows, both windows were frozen, so I had to start the car for 10 minutes before you could go.
Yeah, all set, dude. It's like 85 here right now. After the interview, I'm gonna do one more, and then I'm gonna go to the beach. It's fucking awesome, dude. I love it.
Yeah, my parents are there now. They decided to do the multi-location year, so they're there. They'll come back for like the holidays, and they'll go back to Florida. They're in the villages now with all the retired folks playing golf every day, just loving life. So,
dude, it's like, and everyone's so much more pleasant here. The sky's not gray. Everything is green outside. It's just fucking awesome, dude. It's awesome.
One thing I noticed right away on Saturday night was when the fight started, how much bigger you were than Journey. Like, you looked like a lightweight compared to him. Like, did you know that heading into the fight you would have such a size advantage over him?
I know that I'm probably going to have a size advantage over probably most of the 135ers. I'm probably in like the upper 25% of size of the size with the 35ers. I don't think they're. I'd even go as far as saying I'd probably be in the middle of the road of a 45er. I have a pretty big frame, especially for the class, and I carry my weight well. Journey was definitely even when I shook his hand, he was a strong kid. He has like these big strong delts. He has like a nice physique. He has a good build to him. I knew that he would probably like punch pretty hard, punch harder than me, but I don't think they're gonna be a lot of guys that are gonna be like able to outmuscle me. I think, especially with the kind of build that I have, and obviously, your body, especially with like when you're moving bodies around, it's like a lever system, and I have these big long limbs, so it's gonna be tough for guys to deal with that. Plus, my long limbs, plus the athleticism, plus the strength. I didn't think I would look that much bigger, but when I was watching the video, it was pretty evident that I was definitely the bigger frame. And I didn't walk in the cage that heavy either. I walked in literally like 7 pounds lighter than I normally do. I'm normally walking in the cage at like 56-ish. I walked in the cage about 47, 48. So I was much lighter this time. But I just carried my weight really well. I think 35 is the fucking perfect place to. Mike, I'm not lying to you. I could have made 125 pounds on Friday. Easy, like easy. I didn't cut a single pound of weight. I didn't cut not one single pound, not even a little bit. I could have made 125 pounds over. I'll never go down to 125 just because that's a different style of fighting. But 135, I think I'm gonna be a lot bigger than most of the guys and be able to move my weight better, more efficient than most of the guys.
You're not even near your athletic prime yet, so you're just gonna get bigger and stronger.
Yeah, man. This was. I was lifting and moving the same amount of weight on when I was at the beginning of camp as I was at the end of camp. And that says a lot because that's like a 15-pound difference with my body mass, my body weight. Man, I'm telling you, everything went perfect this time. And now that people are like, what people are seeing now with the last two, I lost my debut. I think I showed a lot in that fight, and everyone has all these questions like, can he go this amount of fight? He fought all, less than good talent on the local scene. While yes, that may be true. I show that I might not be the best boxer or the best kickboxer or the best grappler or any of that. But I think the thing that's gonna win me fights is my creativity and awkward movements. I'll never go out there and say I'm the better guy, I'm the better boxer, any of that, or better individual martial artist. I think the thing that's gonna win me these fights and get me far in this game is my creativity in these unorthodox styles. I don't think many people, if not any, move the way that I do. You can see the way I move. It's extremely fucking weird, but it's very efficient.
So you're out of the octagon for 11 months. You got ready for this fight, and then you fought for all of 41 seconds. You said you want to get back in there quickly. Anyone stick out to you? Because I do have my thoughts on this, Randy.
I'd like to hear your thoughts.
I think it's so easy to matchmake here because you guys both fought on the same. You both won. Yes, I mean you're a New England guy. He's got ties to the area, fighting for CES. I think you and Ewell is absolutely the fight to make.
Yeah, I mean I'm not a matchmaker. I don't know the UFC's agenda. I don't know what they want to do with Andre. I don't know what they want to do with me. I like Andre. Andre's the fucking man. He's fucking super cool. He's super exciting. I'm a fan of his, dude. He's a fucking comedian. He's the man. I met him for the first time this week. He fought at CES, obviously, but he's just like a really good dude. I hope that, I guess we don't have to fight because he's a good guy. But if we do, then we do. I know the fans would be in for a treat. I don't care who I fight. I'm not the matchmaker. I'm not the one calling the shots. My job isn't to pick and choose my fights. My job is to go out there and put on exciting performances. I had one request. My one request is that I get exciting fights, right? People don't want to see, and I say that in every single interview, people don't want to see cuddling matches for 15 minutes in the middle of the cage. They don't want to see that. They want to see exciting fights. They want to see, they want to see finishes. They want to see people mixing it up, and they want to see people throwing bombs. They don't want to see just squeaking out decisions. The only person I'm calling out is the person that's not going to try to squeak out a decision. If that's fucking, King Kong, that's King Kong. I don't care. I just want to be known as, Randy Costa's fighting. It's going to be an exciting fight, and that's all there is to it. I think I've showed that in the 3 of my UFC fights that I want to be must-watch TV in the UFC. I want people to be, I want to be a household name. I want people, Randy Costa's fighting, holy fuck. I don't care who he's fighting. Randy Costa's fighting is going to be exciting. I don't give a fuck who it is. I'm not calling anyone out. I'm not asking for anyone. I just want exciting fights. That's all there is to it.
We're obviously in a weird time where fights are booked and then they fall out pretty quickly, some even on the day of the card. But, we see these things fall out on a week or two notice, sometimes even shorter. Is that something you'd be interested in if it happened? Like if something falls out like a week or two before an event, say like when they come back to Vegas, would you be up for stepping in on a short notice fight like that? Or would you want to kind of have a full camp and do what you've been doing?
I'm not really going to have I'm not really in camp or out of camp. I'm going to stay in shape. I'm going to stay ready. A full camp doesn't really matter. It's just who it's going to be. I'll entertain really anything. Like I said, I just want an exciting fight. If it's the right fight that falls out, then yeah, 100%. If a fight falls out that's not really, entertaining or fun or worth it or a bad matchup, it really wouldn't make fucking sense. I'm not going to go out here and I'm not going to say that I'm the best in the world because I'm not the best in the world. I know I'm a realist, right? I don't deserve a top 15. I don't deserve to be, talked about like this next big thing, right? I want to fight. It's not a big deal. I know where I am. I know my talent level. I think that I'll probably get a step up in competition this time, but you won't hear me singing about saying I want top 15 or anything or number next to my name. I don't want any of that shit, right? I'm a fucking realist. I know I have to climb out. I'm probably 3 or 4 fights away from even, being talked about having a fight in the top 15. If an opportunity comes up before that and it makes sense, then yeah. But I'm not going to be the one asking for these big multi fucking crazy fights. I'm not a fucking idiot. I know what I deserve. I know what I earn, right? And I don't deserve someone who's with all that's so close or breaking the top 15. I just want an exciting fight. That's the only thing I want. I want to put on fun shows. I want to put on exciting fights, and I want to give the fans and the people what they want to see. The UFC is the most exciting thing on TV right now. There's no, live sports aren't, especially with no crowd, live sports aren't nearly as interesting as the UFC. Now is a time where you're going to be able to grow your stock and have yourself become a name. So I want to capitalize on this moment where all eyes are going to be on top of it, and I just want to put on exciting fights, put on exciting shows, and grow my stock.
With that said, do you feel like this is sort of a breakout performance in your career? Because I remember when I put out that article from our conversation about the COVID stuff a while ago, and you know how some fans of the sport are, who the hell is this guy? Who cares? Blah, blah, blah. There were also people that had your back, but you think they know you now after Saturday night?
Yeah, dude. It's crazy. I hadn't fought in 11 months. after Boston, people were saying my name, that I'm going to do big things in the sport. And then time goes by. MMA fans, dude, oftentimes have amnesia. They forget. When the odds are being released about this fight, and I read all this stuff on Twitter, and Randy's gonna get knocked out. This, that. People suddenly forgot that I didn't know how to kickbox. Right? They suddenly forgot that I didn't have 5 first-round finishes, and I'm coming off a first-round knockout against a savage in boxing. Like, people forget all these things. People will probably open their eyes a little bit more now because of how I followed that up, and coming out and having such a crazy performance after such a long layoff. And everyone's sharing my stuff on social media now. But I'm not sure if I'm going to get the respect I deserve. People are going to always be saying, "Oh, all he has is one round. All he has is one. Well, how's he going to do against this person?" Like, shut the fuck up. How about we just recognize that I actually know how to fight? You know what I mean? Like, MMA fans have amnesia. No one wants to give me the credit, or some people. I'm getting a lot of credit from a lot of people. Some people don't want to give me the credit that I think I deserve. Like, I didn't go out there and just beat a cab driver. Journey is a bad motherfucker. He took short notice against Ricardo Ramos, came in on like 2 weeks notice and put on a show and competed against one of the best in the world on fucking 2 weeks notice. Comes out his next fight, gets a knockout win in 38 seconds, right? And now suddenly I finish him, and my win's like discredited. Like, people are not sure how I'm gonna do after the first round. People aren't sure I'm a first round fighter. Like, just shut the fuck up. Like, if I'm a first-round fighter, I'm a first-round fighter. Get out of the first round. Like, that's it. There's a reason that I'm getting all these finishes when I'm getting them. It's not because I'm a savage. It's because I can see these openings. Don't leave fucking openings, and I won't have a first-round finish. Like, that's, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense.
You were etched in my mind after the Boston card because I was interviewing local prospect in New England, Mitch Raposo, and I kept calling him freaking Randy Costa in the interview like 3 different times. It's like right after the Boston card, so it was like still in my mind, but. Mitch, I can't wait to see that friggin' guy fight again. He's so close. Like, he's right there.
Yeah, he'll get matched up soon. He'll get some.
You're a very smart guy with your money, Randy, but any fun plans for the 50 Gs once that check clears?
No, I mean, I'm fucking money hungry now. I didn't take any damage in that fight. I want to get back in there. I've been pretty, like, I like to go on vacations and do this, that, but I'm pretty smart with my money. I haven't spent any of my UFC money at all. Like, I've been extremely, like, what's it called? Frugal? Is that the word? I've been frugal with. I want to say a different term, but I don't want to offend anyone. I've been extremely frugal with my money, and I want to set myself up for the future. I'm okay right now. I like being financially stable. I don't want to be the guy that's out flaunting his money and wearing all this clothes. I'm going to be wearing, stupid tank tops, Hawaiian shirts, and that's it. I won't be driving new cars. I'm going to keep driving, my old Honda Civic. Nothing's going to change. I'm happy, but I'm not satisfied. There's still a lot that I need to do. This is just a checkpoint, and I was compensated, nicely for it, for all my hard work. I'm going to be smart with my money. I'm going to put it away. I'm going to invest. I want to build a foundation for the future and keep living the way that I'm living right now, because, man, life is so good, and I don't need materialistic things to be in a good spot.
Well, it's nice to see you get one back for New England after the whole Mike Rodriguez thing. That was ridiculous.
Fuck, huh? I'm glad that the UFC is taking care of Mike, though, because that was really bad. Even if Mike doesn't get that win, that check mark on his record, that's not the end of the world. I think it's pretty much universal that Mike Rodriguez won that fight. But it's just nice to see that the UFC as a company is taking care of the fighter, its employee, the right way, because obviously they have to pay Ed Herman his win money too, because he did win. But it's nice to see that they went out of their way to take care of the person that kind of got hosed out of the decision.
Yeah, I agree. Randy, congratulations, man. Incredible performance against a really tough guy. Can't wait to see what is next for you. Thank you for the time as always. We'll talk soon. And Patriots look great. Cam Newton's the man.
He's doing good, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on, Mike. Thank you very much.